A real Twitter back and forth. Scott McFarlane, a reporter, put out a statement saying that survivors are in D.C. today to pretend I was with many of them earlier. Look at what DOJ says in response. We encourage any victim in attendance to walk over to the FBI office and make a statement about what they know and who they know abuse them. This is how we can help them.
Where are we right now?
The place where we've already been.
This is a slap in the face to so many survivors because all of these survivors, many of them have already made statements to the FBI.
Since when?
Since 1996.
And who are you?
Epstein survivors. Epstein survivors.
And we need to listen to them now.
This is real, and this is what they're doing the night of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Spread the word.
Who cares about the Epstein files? I'd trust Donald with my daughters, okay? Y'all keep yapping about that while my rent just went up again because some hedge fund bought the whole dang building. And you know what else?
For 2029, when we are able to take the Congress and take the presidency, how about if we have an agenda where we're going to raise the minimum wage in the United States? Right now it's $7.25. No one can live on that. How about if we raise it to $15 or to $20 or $25? Second, we Democrats, we believe in universal health care. Let's go about getting it done. Universal health care has to be a primary objective of an agenda that we put together and get done in our first year in office.
Congress brings this to an end by passing a war powers resolution, or the Congress brings up a bill to authorize the war against Iran. Now, some of my colleagues, including Republican Lisa Murkowski, have been talking about bringing before Congress a war powers resolution to authorize this war. That has not happened. And so we're coming up on that 60-day mark. Now, the president from the beginning has been, well, let's say, inconsistent about how long this war would go on. You'll remember at the beginning Trump saying that this war would last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 4 to 6 weeks.
The president wants this new ballroom that he's been trying to construct as a way to move ahead and protect himself and others during these big events. Is this something you would support authorizing in light of what happened on Saturday?
No. You know, the president, let's be very clear here. The president he demolished the East Wing of the White House, a historic jewel of the American people, and he started to build this ballroom long before any incident. He also promised the American people that this was going to be built with private dollars. And so the idea that they are now trying to change the rationale for this in retrospect doesn't quite add up. And in fact, the White House long had facilities for hosting, which also included the East Wing of the White House, prior to them bulldozing the crown jewel of the American people. And so I don't believe that in an era where they are jacking up prices on the American people, when they are gutting everyone's health care, when people cannot afford to pay their rent and their mortgages, that we should be choosing our precious treasure, little treasure that we have in this country, to build an ornate castle on a scale of which is quite unprecedented and unbelievable without any sort of accountability to those funds. And I'm sure that anyone who believes in, these values of so-called waste, fraud, and abuse would agree with me on that.
Do you feel safe?
Americans deserve lower prices. And the way they will get lower prices and lower interest rates is for Donald Trump to change his policies on tariffs, change his policies on energy, change his policies on creating a war halfway around the world, and stop the chaos and meddling with the Federal Reserve. That's how we can get prices down and interest rates down for families, and that's what we really need.
Senator, have you been able to determine whether the gunman fired shots? If so, how many shots he fired, and whose bullet hit the agent?
We want to get that right. So we're still looking at that. It appears, and I don't want to overstate because we are still looking at this, that there were five shots that law enforcement fired. We have all the evidence is being examined very carefully and expeditiously, and we'll know more soon. We do believe that as the complaint lays out, that the defendant fired it out of his shotgun, and we know that happened. But as far as getting into exacting ballistics, I'm not going to do that today because it's still being looked at and finalized.
We were in a hall just outside the ballroom when the commotion first rang out. Several things happened in quick succession. Tuxedoed agents pulled out guns and began running towards the ballroom. White-jacketed caterers screamed and bolted for stairwells. Pandemonium reigned as a top cabinet official was evacuated. Robert Kennedy Jr. and his wife, Cheryl Hines, came out and were ushered into an elevator. Then Jeanine Pirro emerged. The FBI director, Kash Patel, came tearing across the hallway with 2 men in tow. Quote, his girlfriend was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand. No shot. He spent all of our taxpayer dollars on her just for this to happen? Lord have mercy. Reporters are about to be taken back into the ballroom. Again, Kash Patel's girlfriend was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand after he spent countless hundreds of thousands of dollars on private jets and Ubers for her and her friends, which is despicable and disgusting. But man, for it to end up like this is brutal for Mr. Kash Patel. I'm going to leave it there.
Well, Melania is obviously the worst first lady we have ever had. She can't stand being in there. She's miserable. I think she's got some nerve getting, very up in arms about anything. You're a public figure, sweetheart. It's the First Amendment. Maybe she should study that since she's in America now. Being made fun of is part of that. So her going after Jimmy Kimmel and all of this, it seems like a hit dog hollers, right? What is she so upset about? Could it be the new books coming out and all this stuff about her and the Epstein stuff? So I don't know, but I personally couldn't care less how offended she feels about anything, and she can really go have two.
I feel like one random day, 3 months from now, she'll have a press conference and be like, "The White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting wasn't staged."
Right, right.
When it's no longer in the news cycle, and she's like, "But I will talk about it now and make it a public story because I need attention. I have terrible comms team." Yeah,
pretty good. I'm impressed.
She's good.
Former and current law enforcement agents told me went wrong with security at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They identified 3 major areas of concern, which range from security vulnerabilities to actual lapses. Number 1, the checkpoint. Secret Service agents, past and present, told me it appeared that people were not paying very close attention, almost as if they were ready to go home for the night at the final checkpoint of magnetometers, which were also very close to the ballroom because of basically the architecture of the Hilton Hotel. 2, the evacuation of seriously important top administration officials was delayed and incredibly awkward and challenging. I watched myself as Secret Service agents who had been in a holding room rushed into the building to try to collect and evacuate people they're responsible for protecting. And that took a long time because it's an enormous ballroom and they were clambering like spiders over the bodies of people that were under tables trying to protect themselves from a potential gunman and over chairs and actual dining tables. 3, the Hilton has always been an enormous security challenge for the Secret Service. I talked to agents that night and the next morning, some of whom told me they hate this venue because it is such a difficult place to secure. It's an open hotel with guests coming in and out that are not screened. Guests coming for White House related events going into conference rooms and ballrooms that are also not being screened. And yet the Secret Service has to ensure that this ballroom down in the basement is absolutely protected, and it's really challenging for them. While thankfully no one was seriously injured in this incident, it really highlights security vulnerabilities in how the Secret Service has attempted to protect the president and other top administration officials. And it puts in high relief that this is the 3rd time an untrained, armed individual has gotten this close while targeting Trump or his administration.
2 clips with same energy.
I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1%, and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%, but if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and two-thirds chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and two-thirds percent, I got 141 and two-thirds chance of winning at Sacrifice.
If you want to know how big of an imbecile Donald Trump is, that entire story was told today in one press conference. Did you see this?
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. But we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person.
Okay, that's the president of the United States threatening to jail a journalist for not giving up their source. Now, that is something, I can tell you, journalists are prepared to do. They are prepared to go to jail to protect their source. It's happened before. Okay. That's bad, right? That is illiberal and undemocratic and dumb. But in this same press conference, moments later, Donald Trump turns to his own general and says this.
And don't forget, how many men did you send altogether, approximately, for the operation?
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, we are. But I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was...
Yes, so... National security issue for thee, but not for me. Who takes this man seriously?
So Cole Allen's manifesto's come out, and we need to talk about it. This old Texas Paul, hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I really do. I really do. I hope you're having a good cup of coffee this morning because we need to have a serious conversation. I have repeatedly told people, don't be violent. It just feeds in to them. It creates advantage for them. It slows our momentum. Now, I've read his manifesto, and I've got to tell you, I agree with what he says. We've got a shit president, an immoral, low-life piece of crap president that was foisted upon us by low-life, miserable MAGA motherfuckers. So I understand his emotion. What I don't understand is his tactics. Because what did he do? All he did was just motivate them. You know, Cole Allen was an intelligent, educated man. And I get it. Emotionally, he had had enough. I get it. I do. I get it. But I wonder what I could have done with him if I'd have gotten a hold of him. If he'd have been part of our community. If he'd have been ride or die. If he'd taken those talents and applied them to moving us forward. Instead of trying to take matters into his own hands and just doing something desperate. If he'd plugged into his local Democratic Party. If he'd applied that energy and that passion to getting people to the polls. You know, voting's not sexy. It's not. I know it. But I'll tell you what. It works. It works. And if you just show up, if you just participate, we can change all of this. We can hold them accountable. But right now, we control none of the three branches of government. And we get control of that in the voting booth. Don't be violent, people. Not even in your protests. And I know there are people that are just enraged and emotional that will not agree with me. But they're not the way forward. Be right or die.
At about 8 o'clock this morning, Trump posted this deranged shit on Temu Twitter, and it reminded me of a conversation I had with a street preacher in front of the Supreme Court about 2 years ago. And so now I'm going to replay my conversation with that street preacher. You'll see why it reminds me of this deranged post by Donald Trump.
Okay, what do you preach? I'm an evangelist, Pentecostal, preach the full gospel, preach the cross, preach the blood, tell everybody how much God loves them. And I preach some very controversial things. A lot of people don't like me.
What's controversial that you preach?
Trump is the Antichrist. That's
Okay.
my number one thing that I'm known for. Every other evangelical preacher has defended him, personal friends. But obviously he's the only one who fulfills every biblical trait, characteristic, and qualification of Antichrist. Read the 7th, 8th, and 11th chapters of the prophet Daniel, who was a Jewish prophet, and he gives the biblical traits, characteristics, and qualifications. And Trump meets, and the church is in denial because he's won a lot of big things for the church, like Roe. We all cheered when he brought down Roe. But there's more abortions being performed now than there were before Roe was, but they make him a champion. But it's a deception. He's deceiving Christianity. It is a seduction of Christianity. The Bible says he will be, quote, a fierce man with a stout man with a fierce countenance. No, that's not Barack Obama. That's Donald Trump.
Right.
And that's the only one who can fulfill it. But they're in denial of it.
What does the Antichrist do? I'm not familiar.
Christ will be the leader of the one world government in the end time, who will present himself not as against Jesus, but as another Jesus. I can save America. I'm going to make America great again. Only Jesus Christ can do that. It's idolatry for a man to claim that. He will say he's already counterfeited the death of Jesus in Butler. According to the gospel of Christ, a rich man cannot be saved. You have to divest. You have to give it all away and follow me. He said it 4 times. Trump doesn't believe that. But all these evangelical rich televangelist prosperity preachers that have become his best friend, they have taught him and they've convinced the born again Christians that he's saved. He's a man of God. He's Antichrist. Jesus said, many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ. It'll be an inside job. It'll be the hostile takeover of Christianity, making Christians hostile. In the Old Testament, God gives divine social justice through every prophet. And he says the widow, the orphan, the hungry should be put first. The philosophy of America first is sin. It's selfishness. It's pride. No, it should be, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said, if you don't do it to the least of these, my brethren, you don't do it to me. We ought to be about the poor. So don't call me a liberal or a socialist or a Democrat. I don't get into politics. But what I do is I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Jesus was a poor man who said, I became poor. And he lived a life of poverty. He had no place to lay his head. And now we got Kenneth Copeland with almost $1 billion saying, I'm a man of God. And he's one of Trump's biggest confidants. Jesus said neighbor first, God first. Put the other man first. That's what Jesus said. And so the whole America first, save America philosophy is unchristian. But he presents himself as a savior. My evangelical audience sees him as a savior. They worship him as God. And the Antichrist, you asked earlier who he'll be, the world will worship him. He'll be so powerful. And now with Elon Musk, with all the money, with all the tech, every tech entrepreneur in the world is coming to Mar-a-Lago, where I just was last week preaching.
Let him cook.
Revelation 13, verse 14 to 18, tells you who he'll be. It tells you about the image, the name, the number, and the mark of the beast.
So then tell me this. Do you feel like with Trump winning the election that we're now in the end times of America?
End times of the world.
We have some news right now. We've gotten to the point where Vice President J.D. Vance is actively questioning Pete Hegseth and the Pentagon, specifically as it relates to what the Pentagon and what the Secretary of Defense are telling Trump about the war in Iran. New Atlantic reporting suggests that behind the scenes, Vance is actively questioning the depleting U.S. military stockpile of munitions, the ability of the United States to, say, defend Taiwan if China were to invade Taiwan during the time that the United States is also at war with Iran. And well, the picture that the Pentagon is painting for Trump and that Secretary of Defense Hegseth is painting for Trump may be much rosier than what's actually happening, whether in the United States military or on the ground in Iran. And while the vice president allegedly, according to The Atlantic, is sounding the alarm bells over his concern that Trump may not be getting the full picture. Is this a fracture emerging? We'll have to see. Spread the word. Follow for more.
The fact that y'all are upset, we talked about this yesterday, the fact that you're upset about what this SPLC was doing is not because you think they were funding the Klan. They were using funds to go after the Klan and get information from Klansmen, and you didn't like the fact that those people were snitching on your supporters because your supporters, a lot of them are in the Klan and other neo-Nazi Aryan Nation type groups. That's why you went after the SPLC, not because they were supporting these hate groups, because they were actually effectively targeting these hate groups and getting the job done.
And to all the women and all the men with daughters and sisters and mothers, everybody, no matter how you identify, now is your chance to vote against Donald Trump, a man who believes his fame gives him the right to grab one of your daughters or sisters or mothers or wives by any part of their bodies. We need you. We need your family. We need your friends. We need your heart. Vote like your life depends on it, or vote like your children's lives depend on it. Because they do. Right now is time for action. It's time to muster all of our energy, every ounce of us, every ounce of hope, and optimism, and enthusiasm, every ounce of fear, and frustration, and discouragement. Now is the time to show up and vote like this country depends on it, because it does.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, everybody. 9:54 a.m. here in the Pacific time zone. Thanks for being here. It's currently 64 degrees on the outer rim of Boulder Highway in Las Vegas. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the putting up with the delay. Started about a half hour late. It was still editing that beautiful intro, that award-winning intro. So award-winning from my own award. I don't know. But anyhow, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Do see I'm not able to scroll all the way back up to the top. I do see Brooklyn SJU. Brooklyn's in the house. Hey, Brooklyn, good to see you. Nola Carnes is here. Doug, hello, Doug. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for coming on in. I see Jolie. Hello, Jolie. Good to see you. DPD, the deputy dog, is here. Aaron West is here. So I believe, unless someone has left or gone to a meeting, I believe we are at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. Anna Moore. Hello, Anna Moore. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on here. Going in here. Thanks for coming on in. If you notice in the intro, I had a couple of Liberal Dan clips in there. Liberal Dan making his way to the intro. That's not the first time, though. But so there. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Liberal Dan, 8 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Check them out. Check them out. Jolie says, hopefully he'll see your comment and answer that, Brooklyn. Brooklyn. I almost skipped it. To Jolie and Aaron, do you think TJ would let Jen back into? I have not stopped Jen. I didn't block Jen. Right? I have not blocked Jen, I don't believe. Now I got to think. Maybe I did, because the guy's an asshole. But maybe I don't think I blocked him. I mean, you guys love the guy. I think he's a fucking asshole. But, whatever. To each their own. To my knowledge, I haven't blocked him, but now I'm not sure, because sometimes I do, because people piss me off, I don't know. The guy's a jackass. And I don't feel like looking it up now to see if I blocked him or not, but I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. Who cares? The guy's an asshole. We got enough assholes in here as it is. Just kidding. Led by this one right here. Brooklyn getting ready for the gym. I'll lurk. All right, go get a good workout in. I don't know what's wrong with your guys' metabolism or whatever. Drinking a Coke is not going to keep me up. Okay? DPD says, I wonder if I'm sleeping because I had a Coke. And it wasn't 3. It might have been 3 in the morning your time. It wasn't 3 in the morning my time. It was like midnight my time. And like I said, if you were listening, like I said, because someone asked me about that, I'd be YouTubing, I think, asked me if that Coke was going to keep me up. And I said no, and it didn't. I went to bed a little after I was doing that. In case you don't know, you guys, I was on last night doing some experimental live streaming, trying to check out some a feature on the YouTube. If you go live directly from the YouTube channel, you can do a thing where you can invite someone on the show or whatever. So I was kind of experimenting with that, and I had a Coke. No, that did not keep me up. Please. It's a 12-ounce Coke. You think that's going to affect? I weigh over 300 pounds. You think a Coke's going to do anything to me? Anyhow, and even when I wasn't 300 pounds, it wouldn't do anything to me. So, freaking Coke, come on. Brooklyn, was he on the bus? No, I didn't work last night. I did not work. I stayed home. I didn't feel like working. I was too tired. I was just too tired, like just exhausted. But like you were talking about, coming home at 5 a.m., doing that 2 or 3 nights in a row, kind of. And since I'm really not officially on that kind of a schedule, it just kind of does get exhausting. And so I just felt like, I figured Monday's dead anyhow, usually, so just took it off. David Weiss from Denver is here. Good to see you. Paul Burrow's got another 200 pounds of buffalo for jerky and burger. Nice. I've had a few buffalo burgers along the way. You know, when you're driving across country and you see these places that say buffalo burgers, like in Oklahoma, they do a lot of that. So I'm like, I'm going to try one of them buffalo burgers. It was okay. I think I would prefer just a regular old burger, but it was all right. Michelle is here. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. AOC speaking truth, as she always does. AOC was amazing. I know we all, wonder if she's going to run for president, and I think she would be a great president if we could ever get enough people to vote for a woman, which someday I think we will. I'm hoping it's within my lifetime. But I would like to see AOC. I would like to see Chuck Schumer not run for re-election and retire like he should. He's in his 80s now. He's had a long career. There's no need to keep dragging it out. You don't need to be fucking Chuck Grassley. And then have her run for his seat and be a U.S. senator for a while, and then be president. But it's her life. It's not my life. I can't tell her what to do. She knows what she wants. She knows what's best for her, I think, right? DPD says, if we think things are bad now, just wait until Jerome Powell tenure is up and we are so fucked. Yeah, and we've seen some of the clips of that guy, the new guy they're trying to get in, who's a total Trump ball cradler. Elizabeth Warren was trying to get him to just admit that the 2020 election was fair and free, or fair and fair, and that Joe Biden won, and he couldn't even do that. William's here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on. Thanks for popping on in. And more. He posted something this morning in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, maybe for you East Coasters, it was the wee early hours of the morning. In the wee. Now I can't even say it right. In the wee early morning. In the wee hours of the morning. The wee early hours of the morning. It was, it was like midnight for me. So, Robert Perez, Trucker John for president of the USA. 200. 200 what? Michelle, understatement of the year. Guess that was something in the intro. I'm not sure what that was. What was going on there at the intro? But I'm sure it was appropriate. Yeah, last night I was on, like I said, I was just experimenting, did a late night experiment, trying to just check out some stuff. I guess Mr. Spock is here. Did I skip Mr. Spock? Didn't mean to skip Mr. Spock. Apparently, Mr. Spock is here because people are. Oh, there's Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State says Epstein ain't going away, Donnie. Yeah, let's keep Epstein, because let's remember the Iran war. Probably this stage shooting, all this shit is probably just, distraction after distraction after distraction to try to keep us away from Epstein, as far away as possible as Epstein. But let's not let him get away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. He can't. Let's stop it. I'm not a crook, said Nixon. I'm not a pedophile, said Trump at the Nora, whatever her name is, interview. Donnie, me thinks ye protesteth too mucheth. Donnie Duty Pants sitting there filling your diaper. Does Donnie need a new diaper change? Fuck you, Donnie. Fuck you, Donnie. Fuck you. Do you guys remember, I thought I had it on here. I mean, we all remember. Trump and what a fucking asshole he is. And I can't find it, of course. But where he made fun of the handicapped reporter who had like the shriveled hand. I mean, it's just example after example after example after example of what a piece of shit this motherfucker is. Of what Donald Trump is. Such a piece of shit. And I can't find the picture now, but it's buried in here. But we all know it. We all remember it. Donnie is just a piece of shit. And I agree with Texas Paul, right? Like, and some of the messaging here in the intro about how important it is to vote. That's our greatest power, not taking a gun to an event and trying to shoot the president or whatever. It's not how you do it. It's by voting. And the reason we are where we are now is because not enough people voted. And also, I know we're highly suspicious, though, of, and we kind of go around and around on this, but about the voting, whether there was some shenanigans going on. But nevertheless, I believe if that 9 or 10 million people that stayed home had voted, it just makes it harder for them to fix things. The higher the turnout. Lower turnouts, they win. The higher turnouts, we win. And I think resorting to violence is always the very, very, very last resort. And I don't think we're there yet. So I'm still a proponent of getting out and voting. DPD says, how do we know he was one of us? Talking about this shooter. After all, his manifesto was the playbook as Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. I don't know about that. I don't know anything about Tucker Carlson and Candy Owens' playbook. I don't really follow them, so I don't know. I guess I can't comment on that. And so I don't know if that was, But I think that there was a lot of things in the manifesto that I was going, well, he's not wrong. I was saying that when I was reading it or hearing it read. I'm like, well, he's not wrong. And just like Tessa Paul said, he agreed with a lot of the stuff that the guy said. So I don't know about this Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens playbook. I don't know anything about that. But there was a lot of stuff in there that was true and truthful. He just went about it the wrong way. And like Texas Paul said, all this does is give them some fire, a little fuel to the fire, so they can say, "See, these crazy liberals, these crazy Democrats, they're violent. Don't give them that. Don't give them what they want. They want liberals to do this shit." That's probably why we've been talking about whether this was staged or not, and I was sort of saying I'm not sure if it was staged, but I think maybe they kind of let it happen. Whether they did or didn't, I don't know. It's probably just the whole thing is just real ineptitude, I think. Robert Perez, I had a gut feeling Trump was the Antichrist since 2015. Robert Nicholas says, I just found out mine went to urgent care yesterday for wrist pain. She has lupus and had breast cancer at 23 years old. Wow, I guess you're talking about your daughter? Was that your daughter you're talking about? Sorry to hear that. That's tough to go through at such an early age. Hopefully she's okay and we'll get better. DPD says, granted, the orange pedophile is the stupid version of the Antichrist. I don't believe in all that shit, Antichrist and all that shit, but Donald Trump is definitely affecting the entire world, as any president would. With everything they do, everything they say, it reverberates around the globe. And whether that makes him the Antichrist or not, I don't know. But every little thing he does, it affects the whole entire fucking world. That's why it's so important to make good choices. That's why elections have consequences. Voting matters. It really does matter who we put in that fucking seat. I don't care what anyone tries to tell you. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember people saying, like, the presidency is just a figurehead. Well, it's more than that, as we see. People try to tell you that the president has no power or isn't consequential. That's bullshit. It's very, very consequential. It's very important who we vote. Granted, I think the Congress is just as important, if not more so. But the president, it's not like the president is not consequential and important. Who we have as president is very, very important, especially when you have one that has this following, this cult following, and then the Republicans just capitulate all their power to him. Like the little fucking pussy ass bitches that they are. Michelle says, well, Trump got Hannity to leave the Catholic Church. Jolie says, my daughter's much better. Can't eat much, but isn't in pain anymore. Thanks for asking. That's good to hear. I'm glad Willow's feeling better. And I hope they get to they find out what's going on there, Also, Barbara Nichols says, I guess her daughter's cancer-free for 25 years, but it's the damaged lupus now. Or the damn lupus now. That's great that she's cancer-free for 25 years. That's pretty awesome. That's a good thing. Yeah, but yeah, that damn lupus. I heard that's a real motherfucker. .007 Kevin, Troll Slayer. He's in the chat room right now, so if you're a troll, you better run. Oh, Brooklyn's got to go to the gym. All right, have a good workout, Brooklyn. Go get pumped up. Get pumped up. Petrazi is here. Hey, Petrazi, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping on in. Troll Slayer. He's the one who sends them on the run. Then there's Jolie put the link in for Liberal Dan, and you can check him out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But I believe next week he's doing a special Tuesday show. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout. MJ Daniel, I'm feeling extra asshole today. Well, you know, sometimes you do. MJ Daniel, a line of Coke would do it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a line of Coke maybe, but not a can of Coke. Maybe a big fat railer, you know? Maybe that would have kept me up till 3 or something. I haven't done any big fat railers. Gosh. 45 years? IB YouTubing there. Hey, there's IB YouTubing talking about IB YouTubing. Says, can't believe GOP on board funding Trump's ballroom. But like I just said, they capitulate all their power to Trump. The GOP is completely worthless. They are completely, what do you call it? It's just sycophantic to Trump. Anyhow, IB YouTube says the problem was a failure of extreme tax on security, which could have been on purpose. It could have been, or just complete incompetence. And not so much about the security officers, but the people who put the security officers in place. The one who's in charge of planning this and getting the whole thing set up. Catherine Real Health Talks here. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for coming on in. I be YouTubing Walsh is a true Trump loyalist. Yeah, I guess that's the new, that's what they're trying to confirm is the new Fed chair, right? Yeah, he's a Trump loyalist, or as I like to call him, kiss ass. You know, ball gurgler, whatever. That's what I like to call him. Let's see, who else is here? Mr. Spock cleaning up the chicken run, as one does. MJ Daniel says 6 pigeons on the bird feeder right now, around 15 a couple days ago. I'm going to have to buy extra bird feed. Damn. MJ Daniel says DJT is both. I was trying to think. We're talking about Antichrist or whatever. I don't know. Everett Tauscher's here. Hey, Everett. Everett, good to see you. Everett says Foxtrot Delta Taco. As in, fuck Donald Trump. Whiskey Tango. Whatever. Foxtrot. Okay. Catherine Real Hot Talk says the pouty McPoutface family melanoma and her crocodile tears about Kimmel. And that whole thing is so goddamn petty, isn't it? Don't we have bigger fish to fry? But this is what the Trump administration does. They spend their time with these petty grievances about fucking late night comics. For God's sakes, do your fucking job and start working on real issues. You stupid piece of shit. And I'm talking to Trump, basically. Now, I know Republicans, their issues aren't really about improving healthcare. Their idea of improving healthcare is just knocking everyone off of any subsidies, any premium subsidies, cutting Medicaid, cutting Medicare, and having everyone open a health savings account that you might put a few grand in, and that's somehow going to cover you if you get cancer. You know, or everyone buying expensive fucking private health insurance. So maybe it is better that they're just spending their time on these petty grievances, because otherwise they would just be spending all their time on completely devastating healthcare, which they are doing little by little anyhow. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself or whatever, but you know, because no matter what they do, I'll never be happy with Republicans because they're assholes. I'm sensing a theme, an asshole theme today. DPD says, can you imagine Chuck Grassley, a man who is so old he doesn't leave fingerprints anymore, would have been next in line for the presidency if the cabinet would have been killed? You know what? I think it would be a vast improvement. I think Chuck Grassley as president would be a fucking vast improvement over what we have now. I say, well, no, I'm not advocating for any violence, but if something were to happen, if the earth were to open up and swallow that entire cabinet for some reason, act of God, I don't know, I would take Chuck Grassley over Donald Trump in a fucking heartbeat. I would. I think this country would be so much better with the Chuck Grassley presidency than a Trump J.D. Vance presidency or any other Republicans around. I really do. Because he is so old. And he would probably be like, you know, all right, we're going to ban Elvis Presley. That's not how he talks. How does Chuck talk? He's like, oh, I know Hal does a good one. He probably, you know, he'd probably think he's still in the 50s or something. He'd be like, I don't know. I would much rather have a Chuck Grassley. I really, really would. That's how horrible Donald Trump is. That even an old 99-year-old senile and Republican, very Republican, Chuck Grassley would be a vast improvement. That's how horrible Trump is. So damn it. Man, what could have been? What could have been? Catherine Helltalk says melanoma is just waiting to move back to Slovenia. I think even Baron von Bonespurs is fluent in her language. And you're not talking about Baron the Son. You're talking about Trump. Because Baron the Son has no bone spurs that I know of. But I did see a little headline. I didn't really read the story, but something about Baron he's a sad. I guess people are making fun of him or something. So he's a sad. IB YouTube says DJT gave himself away on 60 Minutes. Oh, did you think I was referring to you? Nora O'Donnell asked. Which she was, but you know, that was a good comeback though. Catherine Real Hell Talk, what's this May 1st thing and black armband thing? I don't know anything about the black armband, but May 1st is the national strike. So make sure you do it. Make sure on the 1st, no school, no work, no shopping. The only thing you do is you go to YouTube and you watch Chucker John channel. That's it. That's all I'm allowing. That's all I'm allowing. Yeah, I've got we got this one. Oh wait. Yeah, I mean it's Workers Over Billionaires. And we got this one here. Mayday. Mayday, Mayday. Mayday, Mayday. We're sitting down to Mayday. Friday, May 1st. All right. No school, no worky, no shopping. National strike. National strike coming on. Well, the only thing you're allowed to do is watch YouTube, and especially yours truly. Even though I get that's Friday, I guess I'll go on Friday. I've just now decided I'm going to go on Friday. I might as well because I'm not working Friday. I'm gonna be doing the national strike. No worky. I don't really count this as work, but if you want to contribute to the goal, that's fine. But anyhow, DPD thinks it was all staged. But what was how was it staged? I mean, what was staged about it? I mean, again, I think maybe they were lax on security. Maybe they did it on purpose because they wanted something to happen, and they felt confident enough that something happened, they would be able to slap it down. But I mean, you think that the I guess the so-called shooter was in on it, and there is I think I'm hearing that the shooter never even shot the gun. The Secret Service guy that was shot was probably friendly fire. You know. Catherine Real Talk, DPD is Agent Orange going to pardon the potential shooter? Petrozzi says Donnie is an opportunistic, so he'll take full advantage of this fiasco. Well, the first thing he came out and said, "This is why we need a ballroom. We need the ballroom. It's got bulletproof glass." Motherfucker, you were in a basement that had no glass, so you know what for this White House Correspondents' Dinner where this shooting took place. IB YouTubing says anybody that has abused children will not anybody that abused children will not I don't know, will not something only himself, and that is why he ran for president to avoid accountability. I think he ran for president because he just wanted to do that for publicity for The Apprentice or something. I don't think he even thought he was going to win when he first ran for president. But then once he got in, I think that's why he kept campaigning. He never stopped campaigning, even after he lost, because then he could say, "Hey, I'm running for president. You can't arrest me. DPD, did anyone see the regime afterwards? All of them smiling. DPD, if you had watched my videos that I post, I posted that yesterday. My "Oh the Horror" video, where it shows the horror of the whole of the ballroom, where people are sitting there eating salad and they're grabbing bottles of wine. And yes, the photo of all of the basically the cabinet, they're all smiling. Yeah, if you would bother or take the time to watch my videos that I post, then you would have seen that I saw that, and that about, I don't know, 12 other people, so whoever watched that video saw it. Everett Tauscher, Whiskey Taco Foxtrot. Oh, instead of tango, now we're doing taco. Okay. Everett Tauscher, we need that ballroom for Trump to hide under. James Jaramillo, not feeling as good as I was a couple days ago after being on the antibiotics. Is that normal? I don't know. I don't know if that's normal or not. Penny Tigray says, DPD, I saw the photo of him, of the grinning. Also, who stands in front of an audience in a press conference 30 minutes after an attempt on his life? Yeah, it was very nonchalant. It was very, no one seemed like they had a lot of adrenaline pumping, because when you know that it's going to happen, you're not as scared. It was staged. Now I'm saying it was staged. I don't know if it was staged, but everything looked suspicious about it. Everett Tauscher says a rat would be a better president than Trump. I agree. I'm team Grassley. I'm team Grassley. Like I said, if the earth opens up and swallows the entire cabinet, and it didn't, and then Chuck Grassley was safely back in Iowa or whatever, hey, I would be happy. I would be so happy, because I would much rather have a 99-year-old or whatever the hell he is, octogenarian gentleman, Republican like Chuck Grassley. Now, don't get me wrong. In 2028, if Chuck Grassley throws his hat in the ring, I'm not voting for him, okay? I'm just saying, if certain things were to happen, might not be such a bad thing as we might think. DPD says the Nazi agenda is to cause as much pain and suffering as possible. Yeah, and the reason they do that, the reason Nazis did that back in World War II, for instance, is to strip away hope, to make things so hopeless that you just give up. So let's not give up. Troll Slayer, me not calling my president Upchuck? New? Is that new or no? Are those O's? No. Who would you rather have as president, Trump or Chuck Grassley? If I could do a poll, I would put that as I would do the poll, but I'm not able to do a poll. But I would if I could. For some reason, I can't. I don't believe, unless Prism Map. Does Prism Map have a polling? Nope, that's not that. What's this one? Nope, those are filters. Should I do a filter? Look at. Does that make me look handsomer? Do I look handsomer now? I could do. Is this beauty for beauty? Here's glam. Oh wait. Oh, that's a feature, right? I gotta pay for that one. Do I have to pay for this one? Oh, that's selfie mode. Cute. Here's cute. Do I look cute now? Anyhow, I'm just trying to find is there a way to do a poll? Nope. Can't do that. What's this one do? That's no. I guess I can't do a poll. Anyhow, I guess informally, if you want to put your answers in the chat, who would you rather have as president? You only get two choices. I don't want none of this like blah blah blah. No, you got two choices: Donald Trump or Chuck Grassley. Who would you rather have as president? You already know my vote, so. Everett Tauscher says Trump doesn't know English, much less any other languages. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think. I don't think he knows Slovenian. Is Damon Dog? The big dog's here. Did I miss you? Where's Damon Dog? Oh, there's Damon Dog. Good morning. Just got up. Wow, Damon Dog sleeping in late, fixing some coffee. Damon Dog, the big dog's here. Damon Dog, the big dog's here. Yippee, 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 ki. I've got the cute filter on. Do I look cute? Should I turn the filter off? Let's see. What other? Oh, those have been caught. Here's this one says natural. Do I look natural? I don't really see any difference. Now it's off, I guess. So you look all the same to me. But anyhow, no, like as in scary. Mad Max here. Hey, Mad Mac, Slava Ukraini. Mad Max says, I thought the 1st of May was Outdoor Intercourse Day. That's how I always knew that day. Well, if that's I don't think that would prevent you from. I think you can still have a national strike and still do your other thing if that's what you do. I don't count that as work or school or anything like that, or shopping. I count that as an extracurricular activity. Michelle, lots of people in the streets. I guess I got to be in the streets. I'm gonna be doing my national strike from the comfort of this chair I'm sitting in. Everett Tauscher, on authority of TJ, no one can do anything that on May 1st. Well, you can do stuff, but you just can't shop or go to school or go to work. And I guess we do need to have some people out with maybe some signs and stuff. Hey, there's Roxanne. Hello, Roxanne. Good to see you. Roxanne's probably like gonna find out what I said earlier and never come back again. Stephanie B's here. I haven't seen Stephanie B in a while. Good to see you. Hope you're all right. They're in Stockton area, Central Cal. In the valley there, San Joaquin Valley. Good to see you. And we got Rosanna 21. I haven't seen Rosanna 21 in a long time. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I do appreciate you coming on in. Penny to Create says it's interesting that journalists reporting on the Epstein cover-up were to be honored that night. Oh, yeah, and then the thing happened, and then they didn't get honored. Mad Mac, he ran for POTUS so he could avoid prison for a while. I know that's the common theory. I remember the theory was, if you remember way back, going back to 2015, Put yourself back then, before we really knew a lot of shit about Trump. I remember everyone saying that he doesn't really think he's not serious. He doesn't really think he's going to win. He's only doing it for publicity, for The Apprentice or something, or a TV show he wants to do. Don't revise history. I don't think it was until after he won, and then more and more stuff started coming out, and then he ran for re-election. When he was running for re-election, I think he was running to avoid prison, and then he lost, so he kept running. He kept campaigning. He never really stopped campaigning. I think he filed papers like within a few weeks after losing in 2020. I think he went and filed, the papers you have to file to run again right away. That was in 2020, in 2021 or whatever it was. And I guess it was in 2021 that he filed. I'm pretty sure. He never stopped running. That was when he was trying to avoid prosecution. Because then he could say, "Hey, I'm running for president. You can't arrest me." And the dipshits, like Merrick Garland or whatever, apparently bought it. Apparently bought that shit. But I think the first time he was running, he didn't even. I don't think he even thought he had a chance. I think he just did it for publicity. Publicity. Let's not revise history. I peopled yesterday. Is here? Hi, I peopled yesterday. I'm not sure what that means. Like you did something people-ish. I thought the ballroom was going to be paid for from private donations. What has happened to the hundreds of millions he's received from them already? I think it's a slush fund. He's got a slush fund. It's going into a slush fund. The Donald Trump slush fund. Yeah, really, that's just also a way to buy access to the president. You know what I mean? It's just a way to buy access to the president, that donating to the ballroom. Mad Max says, I watched your vid, showed a guy still eating like nothing was happening, laughing out loud. Yeah, that guy, if you watch the whole video, turns out he's an agent, like a talent agent. And he said the reason he didn't do it because he's got a bad back. He didn't want to get his tux dirty. He grew up in New York, so he said, so it didn't bother him. So apparently, I guess New York has lots of shooters running around. So Danny Pomeroy says, last night at midnight, John was playing in YouTube. I'm having a guest speaker coming on in the future. Well, the guest speaker turned out to be Trucker John, apparently. Yeah. Last night's guest speaker was me. The cars I watched, it looked like that lady was trying to steal the champagne. Trying. I don't think anyone took it away from her. I'm sure she got away. And I don't think I don't think anyone really cared. That wine was there for them to drink anyhow. So why not grab a couple bottles on your way out? I don't think she did anything wrong. I would have done the same thing, man. Grab a couple bottles and drink to living another day, surviving another day, Deepa D says, unfortunately, I was involved in a shooting about 10 years ago. I know everyone handles situations differently, but to have someone smirk after that is bullshit. I still can't stand the sound of, I don't know what FC is. Sorry, I don't know what FC means. The sound of, I don't know. I can't even make up a funny. DPD and TJ, I do watch your videos. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But apparently you didn't watch that one. Or maybe you did, and you were just bringing, like you were just making conversation. I know. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Rosanna21 says, Roxanne, we're still in New York. I am recovering and doing business here. We can't wait to get back to California. Back to good old Cali. Uh-oh, I'm sort of wiggling my camera stand. Danny Pomeroy, I gave Academy Award to the old guy eating his dinner, watching the whole Trump show play out. Priceless. I be YouTubing no more spineless Republicans, no more pedo protectors. Vote them out. Vote them out, man. Vote them out. Vote them out. Where's my vote them out? Vote every Republican out, every single one, and the married ones also, as Mad Mac would say. Go charge your phone, Damon. Go charge your phone. Mad Mac, I have no idea who Chuck Grassley even is, and he would still be a better choice. Chuck Grassley is I guess he's a, U.S. Senator, right? From Iowa, I believe. And he's literally like 95 years old or older. Been there forever. I would still rather have him than Trump. Mad Max says those filters make you look more pale. Yeah, I think I shut it off. I'm still looking kind of pale. I don't know. Thank you, DPD. DPD says that's what I'm talking about. To Troll Slayer, who said something. Says neither. Well, no, that's not the. Neither is not a choice. You've only got two. You've only got two choices, and you got to choose one. There's no neither. You guys don't know how hypotheticals work, apparently. But anyhow, and DPD says, TJ, you're always handsome. Well, thank you. Roxanne79 says Chuck Grassley is the oldest repuked senator. There is literally 92. Okay, is he only 92? I guess I was saying 95 or 96. Like I said, you only got two choices: Donald Trump or Chuck Grassley. I'm picking Grassley. Mad Max says, "Hooray, hooray! The first day of May, outdoor intercourse begins today." No one has ever heard that little ditty. No, I have never heard it. I don't hang out in those circles. Danny Pomeroy says, Grasshopper knows exactly how. Who's Grasshopper? Grasshopper knows exactly how the three branches of government works. Trump only cares about his family. They are stealing Americans blind. Trump crime family, making the Biden crime family nickel and dimes. And by the way, there is no Biden crime family. By the way, I know it's a joke or whatever they're doing here, but there is no Biden crime family. I mean, other than Hunter Biden committing crimes just by himself when he was a junkie, like violating firearms laws and I guess drug laws, maybe prostitution laws. I guess that's, but so other than that, that doesn't make them a crime family. The Biden crime family does not exist. The Trump crime family, on the other hand, they're all a bunch of grifters. They're stealing, I believe, from the American people, probably hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. Not counting, I guess, the $2 billion that Jared got from the Saudis. But, so that wasn't really from Americans, but he certainly used his position and has done America no favors in probably all the intel he gives them. You know, they're not going to give you $2 billion for nothing. DPD says Grassley is older than my parents, who are in their 80s. Yeah, he's in his 90s, and he keeps running. You know, I'm not going to tell you, Roxanne. You would not be happy. I'm not going to tell you what you missed. You would not be happy with me at all. Oh, firecrackers. FC is firecrackers, apparently. Apparently, I'm the only one who didn't know that. I don't know. Nola Carter says, I also was involved in the shooting. I was the same about firecrackers. My nephew was lighting FC off. It's funny. I could not figure out what that meant. Anyhow, I told him to get away from the kids. A few went up my son's pant leg. He still has the scar. Firecrackers are dangerous. There's many people who have lost a finger or two to them. Roseanne 21 499 super sticker. Yippee, Roseanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Helping support the show. I do appreciate you. So, did I say yippee? I did say yippee, right? Yippee! I know I did the hand gesture. I don't know if I did the yippee, so I had to go back and make sure. Even though that apparently wasn't a super chat because it's not on the goal thing, but I did say I would shout yippee. So, thank you, Roseanne. Rosanna 21. Rosanna 21 forever. Forever, forever, forever. Danny Pomeroy says, I believe money limits in Congress is ready to blossom. Term limits does nothing to control money. In Congress, there are cheating Americans with Trump's divine BS. Mad Max says NBC fired the Orange Pedo in 2015. He would not do anything to help the person who replaced him. Arnold Schwarzenegger, no way. He would do publicity for Arnold, especially for NBC. Okay, I don't know if he was doing publicity for the Apprentice, but I think he was trying to get something else going when he ran in 2015. I think he was doing it for some sort of publicity at that point. DPD, the orange pedophile, wanted to run so he wouldn't go to jail. In 2015? I don't think so. Roxanne Serenay says, I stole the yippee from TJ. I say it all the time now. He got me started. Yippee! Danny Pomeroy, I got one question, John. I never got your notification half the time. Why? I have no idea. I don't do the. I have nothing to do with notifications. I don't know why people think that people who do the live streams have anything to do with notifications. That's up to YouTube or up to you. Make sure you have your notifications on your device that are set up to allow receiving notifications. That it might be on you. I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Content creators have nothing to do with it. It's a YouTube function. Or your own device function. Mad Max says, I thought the lady stealing the champagne was funny as hell. They're supposed to be hotsy-totsy, big shots, but they are just like us, the rest of us. Hey, man. Hard to pass up a bottle of booze just sitting there. Hey, Catherine, I guess took off. Thank you, Catherine, for being here. I appreciate you. What does your hat say? It says Cabela's. You ever see the Cabela's stores? Those stores are like big sporting goods stores. Danny Pomeroy, starting with Graham come midterm elections. I heard he's having a hard time with just the primary. So we'll see how that goes. Barbara Nicholas says the wait staff made bank on food and wine at that dinner, already cooked and opened. Take it home. DPD says, my husband and I had plans on visiting Las Vegas this month, TJ, but plans were canceled. However, we'll be heading your way next month. All right. Let me know when you're here. Anna Moore says, yes, he is. Chuck Grassley represents the OG Republicans, still crooks, but they respected the Constitution. Hey, look, I'm not saying I'm a Chuck Grassley fan. In fact, I'm really not. I think he's an asshole too. I'm just saying, and I've said this a few times now, I'd rather have Chuck Grassley than Donald Trump. That's how terrible Donald Trump is. Michelle, I thought he was 97. I don't know. He's in his 90s. I was thinking he was like 95. I be YouTubing. Who is Grassley? Who is Grassley's VP? Well, in this scenario, if the entire cabinet and everyone got wiped out and it went all the way down to Chuck Grassley, he's the designated survivor, he would become president, apparently. They would swear him in. And then I think he would get to choose a vice president because there's no election. Vice presidents really aren't even, they're part of the ticket normally in an election. So when you vote for president, you're voting for the vice president too. It's like a package deal. So I guess he would be able to appoint someone. Whom would he appoint? Yes, that's the question. Whom would Chuck Grassley appoint? Mitt Romney, maybe? I don't know. David Weiss says Grassley's 92. At 92 is 5 years younger than my dad. Well, congratulations on your dad making it to 97. And a good congratulations to your dad. To your pop. Michelle says, just like Mitch. Is Mitch 92? That's why he's glitching out all the time, I guess. Roxanne79 says, my dad would have been 96 on the 30th. He's been gone for 16 years now. From heaven, he makes a better president. Well, yeah. I get the point. I think almost anyone would make a better president than Trump. Other than the only people worse would probably be like Hitler or Mussolini or even going to more contemporary alive people, better. I think Trump's probably better. Oh yeah, he's definitely better than Putin. Probably about the same as Netanyahu. They're like two peas in a pod. Yeah, but yeah, he's awful. Trump is awful. Bill Carnes, the king is on the hill. Who? The king is on the hill? Mad Matt Cabela's Club, that's for cool people that pay extra to belong. I got this hat free. I'm not a member. I used to go there was a Cabela's, I think it was in Washington. Mad Mac, you might know the one I'm talking about. Just off of I-5. Way south of Seattle. I guess it was Washington. It wasn't. Trying to think if it was Washington or Oregon. I guess it was Washington. Because they're back off of the I-5, back in the trees, you can't really see it. There's a big industrial area where you do a lot of deliveries and stuff. And a lot of times, there's really no places to park. There's no real truck stops around. So at the Cabela's, a lot of trucks would park there. They did have like a truck parking area at the Cabela's. So I would park there, and then in the morning go in and get coffee, and try to get something to eat there. They had a little, restaurant thingy. And for some reason, I think somehow they were doing some promo thing. I think I got a free hat. I walked in and got a free hat. I think I got a free flashlight or something too. They had something going on where you can get some free stuff. So yeah, I got a free hat, Cabela's Club hat, but I'm not a member. But I have shopped there. When I was there, I bought a few things. I bought my camp chair that I had for many years before it finally wore out, and I had I think I bought socks there. I bought actually quite a bit of stuff there. I bought some stuff for the truck that I could use, and basically camping stuff, but I was using it for the truck, DPD says Miss Lindsay is begging for money. It's time for him to go too. IBU to be McConnell in your scenario? No, but someone says something about McConnell in the post here. I just read people's posts. I don't know. Somebody says something about McConnell. So he's not in my scenario though. The scenario is you only got two choices for president: Chuck Grassley or Donald Trump. Who do you choose? Robert Nicholas says there's new charges against James Comey for his 8647 post. My God, nobody has free speech anymore. That's probably them trying to push the narrative that even though James Comey I don't know if he still is, but he was a Republican, I think, when he was, FBI director or whatever, and he was doing, I don't know what he is now. Maybe if he's dropped out of the Republican Party, but James Comey is a fucking Republican for all intents and purposes. But they will push the narrative like, see, this is the rhetoric, the violent rhetoric. You know, that's what they're trying to push through. Nola Carnes, I have to bump over to Boston Brian's. Well, say hi to Boston Brian for me. She's probably already gone, but Aaron West, honey, I'm home. Hey, all right. So are we back to full mod capacity? Are we back at full mod capacity? Everett Tauscher says we had a Cabela's and Bass Pro shop about 8 miles apart. After BP bought Cabela's, they closed it. Now they're just an empty building. DPD, that's not fair, TJ. You talking about the choices? You only have 2 choices? Yeah, you only got 2 choices. I'm just trying to make the point of how shitty Trump is. That even someone shitty like Chuck Grassley would be better. In my humble opinion. Anna Moore says, I would always stop at Cabela's with my children. When we visited Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, they had fun activities for the kids. I made some videos. If you guys talk about watching my videos, it's probably in my trucking travels playlist. I made a couple kind of cool videos just because they do have a bunch of cool stuff, little displays with animals, like with bears and deer, and there's like an airplane. I remember I made this video of like, and I put sound effects in it, so it sounded like you were in this forest with all these animals, and then it sounded like the plane was crashing or something. I just remembered about that. That was shot at that Cabela's in Washington. I think it's down kind of near Olympia, but it's right off I-5. Man, I tell you, talk about coffee affecting you. It doesn't really keep me from going to sleep, but right now I feel kind of lightheaded. I'm drinking this coffee, and I'm feeling kind of lightheaded. But I did eat breakfast during the intro. I made myself an omelet, a nice cheese omelet, and I had that and toast, and then this coffee. But I'm feeling kind of weird. I feel kind of lightheaded right now. I don't know. Maybe I need a beer break, Mr. Spock. I don't know. I'm YouTubing Grassley then. Right? Right? I mean, come on. It shouldn't even be close. It shouldn't even be close, especially when you've got I don't know. This is an old one I had in here. You've got some sort of oh my God, what am I doing? You've got some sort of a disapproval rating. This is about the war. That was for Hegseth, minus 30 for Hegseth. Let's see what do I got. There's other things, but when you've got popularity and disapproval ratings like Trump does, I thought I had one on here that I could post, but you can see that Trump is probably the least popular president that we've ever had, I think, in history. I think even worse than W finished out at, and probably others throughout history. I'm just looking. Yeah, Yeah, I don't really have anything. But let's not ever forget about this. All right? Let's not let the Epstein files, the list. Let's not forget Trump is on there. Trump is complicit. Trump was best buddies with Epstein. Trump, no matter what someone might try to tell you, Trump was on Epstein Island. There are people who are trying to say he never even went to Epstein Island. Well, he did. And let's not forget. Now, I thought I told I saved another one. Maybe not, because it's not really a meme. It's not really a meme, I don't think. But someone's been posting over and over and over again, like on Substack and Threads. And they just been posting it. It's not really a meme in meme form, but I thought I had something related to that I could post. I guess not, though. But someone's been posting over and over again, and I repost it, where it says Trump raped a 13-year-old girl, and then he hit her because I guess she bit his dick or something. And she reported it to the FBI, and the FBI marked it down as a credible report, a credible accusation. It was credible. So don't ever forget that. And and I'm sure there's so much more, in the Epstein files and everything else. There's more than just that, but let's not forget that. Trump is on the Epstein list, and I think there's very credible accusations and reports of all kinds of horribleness that Trump committed. So don't let the Iran war distract you from that. Don't let this shooting in DC distract you from that. Don't let the ballroom distract you from that. This motherfucker is a horrible, horrible person. This Donald Trump is a horrible person. And at some point, he needs to pay. He needs to go to prison. He needs to go to prison. And I know we've been talking about him running for president just to avoid prison, and I believe that. I just think in 2015 it was something different, because I don't think he thought he was going to win. I think he was doing it for publicity. But nevertheless, he's horrible. Yeah, Mr. Spock, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? He wishes it would just go away, doesn't he? He really, really wishes it would just all go away. Well, it's not going away, Donnie. It's not going away, Donnie boy. Jolie says the closest Cabela's to me is over an hour and a half away. Jolie, you must live way out in the sticks, because we were talking about Costco one time. And that's like 2 hours away. Do you guys have a Walmart? I think you have Walmarts are everywhere, unfortunately. I mean, I'd rather have a Costco near me than a Walmart, but poor Jolie. No Costco, no Cabela's. Cabela's were nice. I mean, if you like sporting goods and stuff. I mean, they're huge. They have a lot of stuff. IB YouTubing says, is Grassley in the Epstein list too? He could be. I don't think he is. IB YouTubing. I don't remember hearing Grassley's name come up. And it might just be because he is so old and everything. I don't know, but I don't think I've heard Grassley's name come up in any of that. But who knows? Anna Moore says that every denial that comes out of Trump's mouth is a confession. Hence the 60 Minutes interview. DPD says, I wonder why it is that no journalist will ask the orange pedophile about the sexually lewd comments he's made about his daughter's whip out the fucking receipts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they need to call him out on, And then when he sits there and he's so like smug, and when he says to like Nora O'Donnell and to other reporters, he said like you're really disgusting. You're disgusting. No, motherfucker, you're disgusting. Yeah, like you say, everything comes out of his mouth is a confession or a projection, Mr. Spock says in 2015 he ran because of the 2011 Correspondents' Dinner. I think so too. Yeah, I think that was part of it. And so I do partially blame Barack Obama for getting us Trump. He basically jinxed us. I like Obama. I really think Obama was a really good president. Contrary to what a lot of even Democrats think. And talk about revising history. They want to revise history to make it sound like Obama was this horrible Democrat in name only, just bullshit. But I will, the one thing that I will probably forever be mad at about at Obama is how he egged on Donald Trump at that Correspondents' Dinner in 2011. And I say that only partially tongue-in-cheek. DPD, I love Costco. It's one-stop shopping. And also, Costco is run by an owner or ownership group that's pretty good. It gets pretty good, if you want to say, I don't know, ratings or whatever, for paying its employees decent living wages and providing, benefits. So if you have a choice between Sam's Club or Costco, again, talking about these choices, please choose Costco. If you can go to the Costco, because Sam's Club is just Walmart. It's just a big warehouse Walmart where they pay their employees shit, and they give out, when they hire them, they give them, a meeting or a brochure on how to get SNAP and welfare benefits because they pay so crappily. Is crappily a word? I think it is. So just remember that. Between Costco and Sam's Club, it's Costco all the way. Plus, I think their products are better. I think they have better quality of products all the way around. Food, clothing, you name it. Appliances. I think they have better shit. Ivy Joe Rains is here. Hey, Ivy Joe, good to see you. Says, my Wally World is an hour away, and I've never been to Cabela's. Well, Cabela's is just kind of, it's mainly like sporting goods, but it's kind of cool. It is kind of a cool place. Go to my video. Go to my playlist. I think it's my Trucking Travels playlist, and I've got some Cabela's videos in there. If you want to see what one looks like, I know I made at least one. But I think I didn't. I think I mainly was taking videos of the little like stuffed animals. I don't really have videos of all the shit, but still. DPD says, then on top of that, Fetterman had the nerve to show up at the dinner looking like like a car mechanic. I mean, come on. I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to dress up and you like to be casual, but he just looks like a big, dopey, goofy fuck. It's a black tie event, and the guy wears like a mechanic shirt, Fuck you, Fetterman, you fucking dope moron. And I don't give a fuck. Okay, you had a stroke, and I feel bad about that, and maybe that's left you with some long-term issues, I mean, I'll cut you a little bit of break for that, but still, you look like a dope with your stupid clothing choices. Just because you're big, giant, man, they have tailors, they have big and tall. You can go to the big and tall store. You can get your fucking self a fucking suit. You stupid fuck. Anyhow, other than that, I have no opinion. I think I'm more angry about Fetterman's clothing choices than I am about his politics. Than you guys are, because he still votes along with the Democrats, 98% of the time or whatever. So I think I'm more upset about his fucking clothing choices, because he looks like a dope. He looks like he could be one of the 7 dwarfs, except he's the opposite of a dwarf. He could be dopey in the 7 Dwarfs movie, except the giant one. He could be a giant dopey. I'd be YouTubing. You are a disgrace, because I don't like your question, DJT thinking. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're a disgrace. I knew you were going to bring that up. Well, if you knew she was going to bring it up, then what are you so fucking shocked about, It was in the manifesto. What, she's supposed to just ignore that? Trump, you pussy? Trump is a pussy, man. And no offense to pussies. FJ Reigns, Justice Department just indicted James Comey. Yeah, we brushed on that a few minutes ago. About the 8647 tweet. It's just, like someone said, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to stick. It's just more wasted time by the Trump administration. They'd rather go after this petty ass bullshit because they're so thin-skinned, and they want just distractions from the Epstein list, the Epstein files. They want distractions from real stuff. So they're just gonna keep going after Comey. They're gonna go after Kimmel and anyone else that has a hard C sound in their name. Because it's all about distraction and not talking about real issues, not working on real issues. Like affordability, bringing prices down, bringing good jobs for people, bringing good healthcare solutions to people. None of that. No. We're going to fucking waste our time indicting James Comey for a stupid tweet. DPD says no to Walmart or Sam's Club. Fuck the Waltons. Absolutely. Go to Costco. And whatever the equivalent of Walmart would be. I don't know. Mom and pop stores or something. IB YouTube says Costco ignored Trump's DEI hating rules. Costco they get really good marks, as Trump would say. They get good marks, and I've shopped at Costco off and on. It's been a while, but I've had memberships. I buy a yearly membership. I did that for years, for decades. Now that I'm out here, they do have Costco's out here, but I don't have a car. I'm not really close to one. I had. But I might still currently have a membership. I'm not sure if I've renewed it or not, but I like Costco. Costco's good. Mr. Spock says Trump stewed about being roasted so bad The New Year's Eve date, 2011, 2012, he made the decision to go all in as president in 2015. Hence, the 2012 prophecy is still in action. The apocalypse takes time. I'm not familiar with the 2012 prophecy. Is that the Inca or the Aztec or the whomever's thingy? I don't know. Where they just sort of ran out of room on their calendar. It's just stopped there because they ran out of room. DPD says, did you know you can go to Costco, buy a pack of steaks, mouthwash, veggies, clothes, and a casket? I kid you not. I did know. I knew that. Yeah, you can get a piano and an organ, a recliner, some flip flops, and some rotisserie chicken, and some probably some dick pills or something. I don't know. And you can renew your eyeglass prescription. Yeah, all in the same place, and get your tires rotated, or get new tires, I guess. Mr. Spock, Doc's my favorite. He had the good drugs. I don't know who Doc's is. I'd be YouTubing since Fetterman had his suit at the State of the Union. He could have worn that. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Spock, Fetterman is a disgrace. But he is a stroke victim, a stroke survivor victim. So let's not forget about that. DPD says, TJ, you know Costco delivers. I didn't even think about that. Good, thanks for the reminder. I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure I still have my membership because I know I'm on the, I get the emails with all the weekly deals and shit. It probably says right on there, delivery. You push this button for delivery, and I just forgot about it. Mr. Spock says Costco has 6 packs of caskets, save 20%. Yeah, get a family plan there, I guess. I don't know. Big Hook, the big hook is here. 11:25 TJ time reference. Yeah, I'm only a minute behind. I'm only one little tiny teensy weensy little teeny weeny little minute behind. Where's Nick Rich? He doesn't come on here. I must have pissed off Nick Rich. He doesn't come in anymore. But thanks, Big Hook. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on in. I appreciate you coming on in, Big Hook from the Great White North. As a few of you are from the Great White North. Is Mr. Spock? Are you from the Great White North? Which side? I always forget which side of the border you're on. I know you're really close. Are you Canadian? We have a lot of Canadian friends here in the chat. So, Mr. Spock says brain damage is an excuse to sell out. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Just remember, the guy is kind of, got some issues, some health issues, and I still don't like the way he dresses. I can see maybe sometimes, like his excuse used to be that he was in physical therapy, I guess, after the stroke, and if he had to go run into Congress to do a vote, he didn't have time to change, and he would just put on some shorts and a hoodie. Okay, whatever. I could kind of get that, but you're going to an event like that, like Ivy YouTubing said, he went to the Soto in a suit. You can go to the correspondence dinner in a suit. You don't need to wear your fucking mechanic shirt and your your work pants. Yeah, Joel reminds everyone we have channel memberships starting at $1.99 a month, guys. If you want to be a member, super chats. We're over 5 on the chats today, but we did get a super sticker, so that was nice. The goal ends in 9 minutes and 16 seconds. If you guys want to get, we can still get the goal set at 5. Do I have to dance? Do I have to make in order to get you guys to do that? Is that what you guys are waiting for? For a dance party? I don't know. But yeah, and you can also help the show over there at the PayPals and the Buy Me Coffees. There's the links there. Thank you, Jolie, for putting that up. Big Hook, Vancouver, BC based, which I believe is in the Great White North. I'm just confused. Is the Great White North, is that all of Canada, or is that a certain specific part of Canada? Like up in the timberland? I don't know. Big Hook, the California of Canada. Yeah, I think there's a lot of American expats that go to Vancouver. I've never been there. I've never been to Canada. I never have. I don't know if I'll ever go or not. Mr. Spock says the good weather coast Big Hook. Mr. Spock, Canadian, eh? Oh, that's right, Canadian. We got quite a few of you Canadians in here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Who knows? I might be running up to you guys if things don't get better down here. I've been meaning to get a passport. I had a passport, but it expired like 10 years ago. Jolie says $2. Is it set to any super chat? I believe so. Yippee, Jolie. Thank you so much, though, by the way. It is set to anything. Pretty sure. $7 minutes, 5 seconds. I'm YouTubing. That's 7 minutes to get 4 more super chats. I'm YouTubing says Vancouver is beautiful in the fall. Now, Jolie, again, thank you so much. Yippee! I do not want Jolie being the only one buying. That's not, Yep, it looks like it. But thank you, yippee, Jolie. Yippee to you, yippee! But let's not make Jolie be the only one to do that. Big Hook says, yeah, I used to live in Newfoundland. I think it's Newfoundland. I always say Newfoundland. I'm a person that just reads it how I see it. It's kind of like Greenwich Village. To me, it looks like Greenwich Village. But apparently it's Greenwich Village for some reason. I believe Newfoundland is Newfoundland. I think it's Newfoundland. I think we've had this discussion before. I think a few years ago. I think it's Newfoundland, renowned for the worst weather, at least North American wide. Wow. Over there in Newfoundland, I think it's Newfoundland. Why don't you just spell it like it sounds? I don't get it. Anyhow. Jolie. What are you doing? I do what I want. I know you do. Yippee to Jolie. Yippee. I know, but you know what I mean. It's it's supposed to get everyone else going, not just this, not to be just one person's burden. But thank you, Jolie. I appreciate the super chat. Yippee! I'll give you another yippee. DPD says you would love Canada, especially Vancouver, British Columbia, and Toronto. Yeah, I've heard they're all beautiful cities and big, beautiful cities, and they're clean. Apparently, not like America, where our cities are dirty and gross. Everett Tauscher, $2. Yeah, yippee, Everett Tauscher. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking up some of the slack there. Big Hook says, remember when we had the Winter Olympics and it was t-shirt weather? We were the belle of the ball and the athletes loved being there. I think so. Notorious GRG, $1.99 super sticker. Yippee! Thank you, Notorious GRG. And Aaron West, $2 super chat. Yippee to Aaron West. And we made the goal. Look at you guys coming in and making the goal. Making the goal. Thanks to the participants. Thank you so much, participants. A collective yippee going out to you. We made the goal today. I haven't made the goal in a while. I was beginning to feel a little dejected. Oh man, I think that coffee made me thirsty. I don't know. DPD $20 super chat. I'm gonna give you like a big uppercut. Yippee! Look at there. Coming in after the bell. DPD $20. Thank you so much. Put it in your Acorns account, TJ. I want you to start taking care of yourself. I mean it. I will, DPD. I will. Absolutely. Like I said, I have Acorns and Robinhood. At one point, I had money in those accounts, and at one point I cleared them all out. I don't think there's anything in there. And I'm trying to decide. I don't want to do both. I want to do just one, and I'm trying to figure out which one's better. You know what I mean? Maybe they're both the same. I guess probably. Big Hook, is TJ going to dance now? Well, I didn't say that was a dance goal. I said, do I have to do that in order to get you guys to do it? I didn't say that was the for a dance party, technically. Robert, $1.99 super chat. Yippee! Yippee-ki-yay, Mutta Hubbards. Thank you, Robert Perez. Appreciate you. Yeah, I never really officially set a dance party goal. Big Hook, did you get a copyright from your last dance outing? I think I got a claim. Like I know if I got a strike, I would know. I would remember that because strikes are very serious. And I didn't get a strike, but the claim. I think I did it. Casey, like Casey and the Sunshine Band. I got copyright claims, which basically means that they will get whatever ad revenue I get, which is probably 32 cents or something. Because it's based on like clicks and viewer time and all that kind of stuff. DPD says, I want you to make yourself a doctor's appointment, TJ. Think of me as your soul daughter. I know. I need to make an appointment. You're absolutely right. I am on Medicare now, and since last October, and I have not used it. I have not. I guess I haven't. I got the card. I have my Medicare card, but I haven't made any appointments or set up any doctor. I don't have a doctor. I need to call and get like a doctor, and I need to do that. I need to get a checkup and on all that stuff. You're right, DPD. I agree. I need to do that. Jolie says dance parties cost more. TJ isn't cheap. Yeah, they do. The dance parties would be a higher goal. Barbara Nicholas, shake it, baby, shake it. I could do a little dance, chair dance. Be like, woo-hoo! And I won't get a copyright claim if I just do my own song. We made it go. I don't know, I was trying to think of a song. Yippee! Uh-huh. Yippee! Uh-huh. Yeah, chair dance. I'm doing my chair dance. For the 5 out of 5 goal, you get a chair dance. If you want me to stand up and dance and play KC and Sunshine Band, then it's going to be a higher goal. Yippee! Uh-huh. All right. There. Mr. Spock says, I'm down to one hen. Bright Eyes. It was her day in Brooder Gel. It was 7 of 9 day out. Neighbor's dog attacked again. She came by to tell me and gave me $70. Rest in peace, 7 of 9. Wow. Well, that's sad for 7 of 9, I guess, is the name of the chicken. But at least you got $70 out of the deal. Big Hook, I can't believe you might get a copyright strike for playing a Happy Birthday song. I don't know. I guess I've always heard that was copyrighted or somebody had the copyright to it. That's why, like on the Johnny Carson show, they wouldn't actually sing it, or on these shows and stuff. I don't know if on YouTube, if you get a strike or a claim for it. I don't know. Everyone is mourning the death of 7 of 9. Sorry, 7 of 9. I don't know. I was tipping my hat. To 7 of 9. All right, guys. It is 2 hours, and Mad Mac is back. Mad Mac, are you getting ready for Outdoor Intercourse Day? What are you doing, man? Mad Max, she died. I guess 7 of 9. Rest in peace, 7 of 9. Victim of a dog attack. Neighbor's dog attack. Aaron says there was a court case about Happy Birthday, and it was determined it is public domain. Finally, thank God we can sing the Happy Birthday song, free, without having to pay for it. Big Hook. So I guess everyone agrees that it was a staged event. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Well, I'll tell you what. I believe. Why does nothing ever show up on stuff I'm pretty sure I thought I saved and I can't find it? Why can't I find it? Pretty sure that a lot of people agree with that, Big Hook. Was Trump's assassination attempt or assassination staged? 70% of this AP NORC poll, 70% say yes. And I know you half glass empty people are going to go, what are the 30% people? What's wrong with those people? Well, the way I look at it, if you get a 70%, that's a lot. That's a lot of people to come to agreement. So, I mean, that's pretty. Now, I don't know how good of a poll that is. I don't know what kind of sample size they had for this poll. But that's pretty astounding, I think, that 70%, nearly 3/4 of people polled, say that yes, it was staged. That's astounding to me. So, I don't know if everyone agrees, Big Hook, but a huge chunk does agree that it was staged. Oh, Mad Mac was making a joke. Because at first I'm thinking Jerry Ryan died, but I guess 7 of 9 was Jerry Ryan. And I'm not a Trekkie, really. I'm not really, so I'm trying to keep up with you guys. I'm trying my best. to keep up with you Trekkies. Big Hook, I think they were aware of his manifesto and decided to let it play out so Trump could manipulate the event. That's kind of where I'm at, Big Hook. I've been kind of saying that maybe they knew about it and let it happen. Oh, Mad Max says, no joke. I was seriously asking. No, we're talking. Mr. Spock was talking about one of his chickens. It was not Jerry Ryan. IB YouTubing says White House Correspondents Association security was designed to justify ballroom. By the way, Butler, PA, probably too. Jolie clarifying for everyone. Jerry Ryan, the actress, is fine. 7 of 9, the chicken, is not. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Mad Max says, oh, okay, that's what happens when you come in the middle of a conversation. Yes. You're like a bull in the china shop, Mad Mac. You're like a bull in the china shop coming in here. Everyone's like, wait a minute, Jerry Ryan even had me going. I'm like, what? I thought it was breaking news. Jerry Ryan mauled by dogs. No, it was Mr. Spock's poor little chicken. And I don't mean to make light of the fact that his chicken is deceased. Mr. Spock says, Jerry Ryan, way better than the actress she replaced. Oh my God, her scream should have got her fired. I don't know about that, but I think Jerry Ryan has a pretty nice rack. That's all I remember about Jerry Ryan. Right? Am I out of line here? I think she's got a nice rack. I don't know. Come on, guys, back me up on this. Right? Am I right? Big Hook says she was recently on with Bob Seska and Mary Trump discussing her impact on Star Trek and possibly future Treks. Mad Max says, haha, she does have a nice set of baboombies. I told you. I might not know much about the Trek universe, the Trek canon, Star Trek canon, but God damn it, I know Jerry Ryan's got a nice rack. Big Hook says she married a Michelin chef restaurant owner. Well, good for her. Well, good for her. And I suppose in the wee hours of the morning they go and they eat good food or something right after the restaurant closes. I don't know. Why am I doing the Irish thing? Mr. Spock says, oh yeah, skin tight suit. I think it was painted on. DPD says, if I had to hunt my own food, I would be a vegetarian. And yes, if you like racks. I know I was trying to think of how to work in some sort of a coat rack or hat rack joke in there. But then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Because that's not what I meant. You guys know what I meant. Like, anyhow. Brooklyn says, no gravity in outer space. Boobies. Hey, Brooklyn, how's the workout? Are you coming back from the workout? Keeping everything taut? Did you get pumped up? Oh yeah, I better watch it. Big Hook says Big Hook squared. I like that, Mr. Spock. Oh yeah, look at there. There's a little 2 up there. How do you do that? How do you do that? I don't know how you do that. How do you put that little 2 up there? It's kind of like how someone showed me, I think it was Jolie, how to put the little degree. When you're talking about degrees, is it like that? Probably like that, I bet. Where you kind of just hold it and, you know what I mean. All right, guys, what day is today? Today's Tuesday? Tuesday, April 28th. So I'm going to call it a day. I'll be back on Thursday, unless I do some sort of impromptu thing, which I've been kind of doing lately. So hit the notification bell, Danny Pomeroy, and make sure your device is set up to receive notifications from YouTube, apparently. I don't know. Just in case I do an impromptu. Check out my videos. You can check out my Cabela's video. It's somewhere in the Trucker Travels playlist. Check out that bad boy. And on Thursday, we'll be back here Thursday, 9 a.m.-ish, Pacific time zone. And then Friday, for no school, no work, no shopping day, the national strike, I think I'm going to go live. I might just do a marathon show that day. I might blow through everything. I might be on the same time as Hal, the same time as Bubba, the bricklayer. I might be on the same time as everybody else, but that's just too bad. That's just the way it's going to be. Friday, I'm going to be on. I might be on all day. I might try to break my record. I'm not sure what my record is. I think I've gone 4, maybe. I don't know if I've ever hit the 5-hour mark or not. I don't remember. But Friday, we're going to do a marathon show for the national strike. Going to be ordering food. Oh, no, I can't do that. I better stock up on Thursday. Make sure I got food in this place so I can sit here and eat. Tuesday all day. No, Friday all day. Friday all day. Jolie, it was me. Oh, yeah, who told me how to use the degree thing? Of course it was you, Jolie. You're always helping me out. Big Hooks, so is it on till see you next Thursday? See you next Thursday. Yeah. I see what you did there. Mad Max says YouTube sucks for notifications. I have the bell set for all, and I don't get jack notifications. I just always have to search. Well, it's in your email. Like I get notifications all the time because I have notification bells set, and they send it right to my email account. It'll say so and so's coming on now or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't always work though. DPD says, TJ, have a great day at work today. Thank you, Maz. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, strong, and resist. Peace out. Thank you, DPD. Thank you so much. I'll just go over the donation, the fan funding as they call it, real quick. Like Rosanna starts things off with a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Jolie. Jolie. We got Jolie, $2. Jolie, $2. Yippee. Thank you, Jolie, for those super chats. Everett Tauscher, $2. Yippee. Notorious GRG, $1.99. Yippee. Aaron West, $2. Yippee, Aaron. Thank you so much. DPD, 5844, $20 super chat. Thank you. Yippee to DPD. And Robert Perez, $1.99 super chat. Yippee. Thank you so much for all that. Great support of the show. There's so many great ways to support the show. Liking, subscribing, sharing doesn't cost you a dime, and that's a great way to support the show. The super chat's a great way. Membership's a great way to do it. $1.99 a month, and that helps keep the show going. And thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys again on Thursday. I know we really didn't have Tough Cookie or Paul for Beard Guy. I just don't have time. I'm sorry. I just don't have time for those guys right now. What do you mean you don't have time for me? What am I, chopped liver? What am I chopped liver? Huh? What is this guy over here? What's this Trump thing doing over here? Ugh. Get him off the screen. I don't want to see Trump. Get him off the screen, Trucker John. Remove. I don't think you can you? Because I'm on. Okay, well, I guess I'm stuck with him. I guess I'm stuck with this this poopy pant president we got here. President Poopy Pants. What do you mean you got no time for me? Well, I'm chopped liver? Huh? Yeah, I'll be here Friday. Also, National Strike Day. All right. There we go. That's the way. Yeah, May Day, May 1st, Friday, May 1st. Let's do it. No work, no school, no shopping. And if there's an event being held, go out and peacefully protest. Make a sign. Make a sign that says something like, fuck you, President Poopy Pants. I kind of like that. I'm kind of liking that one. I give you permission to use that. If you're going to make a sign, I give you permission to use that one. You have my permission. All right? All right. So nice of him to give permission, isn't it? Nice. Yes, let's do a national strike. Let's send a message loud and clear to the White House and to Donnie Trump that we're not going to take it. We don't approve of what he's doing. We don't approve of how he is just running over the Constitution and is doing things without authority, like bombing other countries without authority. We don't like it. Oh, and also we don't like the fact that he's a pedophile rapist. We don't like that either. So let's send the message out loud and clear in every way that we can, but peacefully and by voting. Let's vote. All vote. All right, guys? Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you can vote. We're going to vote. We're going to vote this new Congress in. We're going to get those Republicans out. We're going to wash those Republicans right out of our beards this November. All right? All right. Thank you very much. All right. All right. So they snuck in. Those guys snuck in. All right, guys. I'll see you later. I'm gonna get some super beats. I've never had super beats. I've heard about them. I think I've heard about them. I'm gonna do some chair dancing. Do some chair dancing. Oh yeah. I'm gonna do some chair dancing and dream about Jerry Ryan's rack. No. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. See you around. See you on Thursday. Words of wisdom. Today's words of wisdom. Are you ready? I'll give you a couple seconds to get ready. Get your pen and paper out. Write these down. All right? All right. So for today.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be on only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food and movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for us. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game. about love. It's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt. It's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road. That's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.